gentlemen, guests, Madam Toastmaster. The beginning of time, the origins of man. Is there life out there? What is the meaning of life? When will the world end? The unknown. Many civilizations have come up with science to try to explain this, to predict it. When will it happen? How will it happen? But there are many things that we don't understand. There are many questions and sometimes not enough answers. We are, in my belief, we are very primitive in our understanding of the world around us. That is why there is so much that we don't understand and we have what's called the unknown. Here's a picture of something that I'm going to explain. It looks like a forest fire just happened there. Why don't you pass that around? Oh, I'm sorry. This is a picture of a place in Siberia. And I'm going to give a little history lesson on what happened there. June 30th, 1908, around 7:17 a.m. local time. Tungus natives and Russian settlers in the hills of northwest of Lake Baikal observed a column of bluish light, nearly as bright as the sun, moving across the sky. About 10 minutes later, there was a flash and a sound similar to artillery fire. Eyewitness closer to the explosion reported the sound source moving east to north. The sounds were accompanied by a shock wave that knocked people off their feet and broke windows hundreds of miles away. The majority of eyewitnesses reported only the sounds and the tremors, and not the sightings of the explosion. Eyewitness accounts differ as a sequence of events and their overall duration. The explosions registered on seismic stations across Eurasia. In some places, the shock waves would have been equivalent to an earthquake of 5 on the Richter scale. It also produced fluctuations in atmospheric pressure strong enough to be detected in Great Britain. On the few days, night skies in Asia and Europe were aglow such that those in London could read a newspaper in their light. It has been theorized that this was due to light passing through high-altitude ice particles. In the United States, the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory and the Mount Wilson Observatory observed a decrease in atmospheric transparency that lasted for several months. They said this explosion was possibly 1,000 times greater than the Hiroshima blast. This was prior to weapons of mass destruction, prior to our nuclear bombs. Completely unexplained. If this happened in Seattle, we would have been flat. The universe is tumultuous. We are juveniles in this vast space we exist in, on this little tiny particle rotating around a huge sun. We have so many things unknown that could happen to us at any one time. And believe me, they will happen in the future. There's so much to learn, so little time. Anyway, back to that explosion. They've never really figured out what happened. They think, it might have been a comet, this comet called 2005 NB56. They think a chunk of it broke out, fled to Earth, and exploded. A natural H-bomb, some phenomenon we've never seen. A black hole, antimatter, and what they call the Wardenclyffe Tower. They said this Tesla was a genius in electronics, and he wanted to take energy and transmit it through the Earth's crust. And they said he ran this wild experiment that caused that explosion. They also said it may have been an UFO of an alien culture that came down, and the ship basically collapsed and blew up. So there's a lot of things we don't really understand. And there's a lot of cultures who try to grasp on understanding the future, the unknown, trying to predict it. The Egyptians were a culture very, very civilized, and they looked to the stars and they mapped them out. What they did, they mapped out the stars and they used those to explain ages, or to try to explain the ages of man. Our Earth rotates around the sun and perturbates. The axis actually moves in a circular pattern like this. So every night we move across the stars in a little bit different way. It takes 25,000 years, plus or minus 5,000 years, to rotate across a series of stars, and that's what Egyptians call the ages. They divided the ages, I think, in 2,000-year periods. We're in the age of Pisces, the next age will be Aquarius. And basically, people look to that to predict the future. Good luck. I don't think that's gonna predict the future. But see how people are scared of the unknown. They become fearful of it. We have to always have in our society anchor points. Basically, we have the summer solstice and the winter solstice. And what we do, those are anchor points in society. We feel we get through the winter solstice, we're okay. In the summer solstice, we have fun and enjoy the sun. The basic thing about this, though, society always needs anchors, and we are always convinced that the unknown we should fear. My opinion about this is I'm trying to convince you to not fear the unknown, but to engage it. There are many people who think life is about grabbing handlebars or a steering wheel and controlling life, controlling other people. You can't do that. What you need to do is you need to grab those handlebars and let life take you along for the ride. We don't really have control in many cases. Now, how do you deal with no control? There's no way knowing how the future is exactly going to come out. To some, this is a horrible thing. But if you accept it, I believe life will be easier for you. You have to control your anxiety. You have to control how you treat others. You have to control how you treat your environment. You have to control what you listen to and what you believe. But do not try to control the unknown. Let the unknown be an exploratory adventure for you to increase your awareness of the world. Embrace the unknown, just like the astronomers. The astronomers look to the skies and they're trying to find new things, always looking at the unknown and attempting to explain it. That's how you should look at your life. Always looking at new adventures to try to find out new things and explore new types of ways you can have fun, you can learn, or just in general, like in science, you can read on the internet all sorts of things that will increase and stimulate your intelligence. But you know what? Some turn it away, and that's called ignorance. When they don't understand something, they shut their ears and their periphery becomes straight. Now, I believe conservatism is good. You should be conservative about your approach to life, like saving your money, not getting in debt, and also you have to hedge your bets. Like, for instance, when we build planes for Boeing, we're conservative, and that we don't want to have unknowns in our planes. But to be risky, risk is the only way to become a better person. You have to become an entrepreneur. I'm trying something right now that I don't know if it's going to work out. I put about a year of my life in this experience, and it may be a complete failure. But you have to do that to grow as a person. You win some, you lose some. So look at that picture of Tunguska. Do you fear it, or does it fascinate you? Not grabbing the handlebars and trying to control life, but grabbing the handlebars and letting life take you along. Find that next experience. Thank you.